Now, again, they're trying to safeguard seniors. By freezing your bank account for 2 weeks or maybe even a month's worth of time, do you feel like that would safeguard seniors? I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. Because here's the deal. When your bank account and your money is frozen, no money can come in, no money can go out. What does that mean for the finances of the people that are being impacted by it? That's a nasty situation, right? Some very negative ramifications could come out of that. Anyway, let's pop this article up right here, right now. Feel free to read through the details. Let me explain the details on this. All right, so this rule is to safeguard seniors from all kinds of new scams that are coming across the country. Now, I've said this many times before in other videos. This is not a pretty thing to say, but I'm going to say it. If you are a senior, generally if you're 60, 65 plus, you are literally who they try to target. You're literally who the scammers are going after. Reason being is seniors generally have a reputation of having money. Now, I know that that's not the case for everybody, but the reputation on those people in their 60s and above is that they've, probably stockpiled a whole bunch of money in savings. They're probably collecting Social Security. Maybe they're getting a pension check or whatever it happens to be. They're just known to be a cohort of our population that generally has money, right? And again, I know that's not the case for everybody, but that's just in general terms. So the scammers go after what they think are the deep pockets, seniors, right? Here's the deal. They've implemented this new rule, and again, this is all across the country. Over half of the states across the country have implemented this, allowing banks and financial institutions to come in and freeze bank accounts of seniors if they see suspicious activity and they think it's going to result in one of these grandparent scams. Have you heard of these? These are really nasty. Or if it's a romance scam, one of these types of scams that focuses on and targets seniors. If they suspect that a transaction, an outbound transaction, as in money leaving your account, is tied to one of these things, they have it in their discretion, as in your bank. They can freeze your account for up to 14 days for a manual review of that money that's going out to basically ensure and verify where that money is actually going and that it's actually legit and they're not sending it off to some scammer, somewhere else out across the globe or who knows wherever else it's going, right? So again, this whole thing is to protect the senior. Now, here's kind of one of the problems with this. Yep, they're trying to safeguard the senior by basically blocking any outgoing payments. But what if somebody needs to, send money legitimately to pay a bill or maybe to pay a mortgage or maybe they're, buying a car or buying a house and they need money for a down payment or whatever. Again, whatever happens to be, just a larger transaction that's maybe not all that typical. If they try to send one of these and their account gets flagged, now their account gets frozen, right? What happens in that situation? Well, unfortunately, not much we can do about it. They literally just freeze the entire account. And that individual may be submitting a payment that could be late to pay a big bill. Or maybe they, again, want to buy a house or trying to buy a car or some large ticket purchase that typically does not happen every single month. And it seems a little bit suspicious. They may freeze that payment. Now, here's what's interesting, as you can see here in that article, which is over the years, generally banks, financial institutions have not come forward and actually done this, as in the freezing of outgoing payments, because they fear that they could possibly be sued, right? So they have not done a whole lot of intervening with these transactions. But with this new rule, they can now come in and do this without risk of potential litigation. Does that make sense? And again, it's all in an effort to protect the senior. Now, I'm going to say this much. It's a good effort. It's a really good effort, and it's really nice to do this. But unfortunately, there's probably going to be some transactions out there that are like, this is totally legit. They block it, and for whatever reason, it may cause late penalties or overdraft fees or just all kinds of different things. I foresee some issues coming out of this. Don't get me wrong; it's certainly going to help save some people a whole bunch of money from being scammed. It's definitely going to help that a lot. But at the same time, those individuals that are out there doing legitimate transactions, sending money legitimately, may get flagged by this. And with that being said, they may get stuck with some fees. They may get stuck with some whatever happens to be the ramifications of basically their account being frozen. And again, the whole point of freezing the account is just to get a manual review within the financial institution, within your bank, to basically just be like, is this legit? Is this money really going to an authentic, legitimate source? And is this something that the person really wants to do? Or is it one of these grandparent scams, a romance scam, whatever it happens to be? There's a ton of these out there. I've talked about a few of them over the last few months here. It's a nasty situation, right? So anyway, even with the implementation of AI, it's getting really bad as well, right? I mean, the voices sound very, very realistic. You got to really watch out for that kind of stuff. Anyway, anytime I